All right, let's jump right into it. The first tool that's going to level up your productivity is time blocking. So time blocking is essentially allocating a specific amount of time for tasks or events or things that you have, or appointments, things that you have made a commitment to do in your calendar, and basically setting what's called an implementation intention. Now this is super powerful because when your brain, psychologists call it an implementation intention, because when your brain is leveraged this way, it essentially induces a deadline effect. So it gives you a constraint to operate in, and that constraint is the time and the task or the appointment or the event that you are planning to do during that time. So for me, it's by far the most useful productivity approach. Allocating specific timeframes to tasks and working on those tasks, it leverages your brain's ability to respond to pressure and get things done. So it's pretty simple to do. You can use an app like Google Calendar, Apple Calendar. First, you just want to look at your projects and tasks and actually create a time for you to do those tasks. So many people have a super long list of to-dos and things that they actually never get to. But the unlock is when you actually add those to-dos to your calendar in a specific time frame for you to get them done. The second tool that I use for productivity is what I like to call task sequencing, or like project management basically, and task sequencing is basically having a clear specific next action for every big project piece that I'm trying to move forward. So for example, if I'm communicating with a customer, I will have specific communication attempts sequenced to that customer, specific follow-ups. Does that customer need specific information for me to make a decision? So I always want to have a clear and specific next action for all of my projects. This is a major unlock because it basically keeps your projects and tasks always in a momentum type phase. So using apps like I use Todoist, which is a productivity app that I lets you make tasks and subtasks. So I use Todoist to manage my project, but you can use Apple Reminders on the iPhone. You can use apps like Things3. Basically what you want to do is have like lists for your projects and sub lists for all the tasks you need to do, and that'll allow you to sequence and have clear and specific next actions for your tasks. The third tool that I use, and this is good for busy people, is something called batching. So batching is essentially when you theme your tasks into specific blocks. So for example, when you're combining like tasks. So if I, for example, I have 3 different tasks that I'll include writing some sort of content, rather than just working on a specific project and changing the tasks. Like for example, let's say I'm writing a script for a YouTube video and then I have to write an outline for a newsletter. I wouldn't just say I'm going to write the script for a YouTube video and then start recording the YouTube video. It may be more efficient for me to do my writing for the newsletter and do my scripting for the YouTube video because I'm already sitting down writing. So another example is like you can go to the gym and just do like a simple quick cardio session right after your gym workout, or you can go to the gym at one time and go to the gym again later in the day. So I guess you can kind of see my point here that one way is a lot more effective by batching like tasks based on different themes or based on different activities that are similar activities that you have to do for different projects. You know, another example is if you have to go and run errands. Like it doesn't make sense for you to go to the grocery store one day, go to dry clean the next day. Might as well just group all those errands and do them together. So what I like to do is when I have a bunch of small things that take like 2 to 3 minutes each, I group them together when they take a combined 30 minutes and just like kind of knock them all together. So how to look at it, you can look at your calendar for the next couple of days, try stacking all of your tasks so you can easily do like tasks at the same time. The fourth thing that has leveled up my productivity significantly is what I like to call a time audit, or simply it's called time tracking. So basically it's keeping a log of all the things that you do in specific windows. So the calendar is good for planning, planning your tasks, planning your appointments and things like that, but then actually keeping a log of how much time you spend on specific things you want to make progress on. So for example, it's so funny how many people say they want to make progress on a specific area of their life, yet they have no idea how much time they spend on it, like actually in focus mode. So, for example, this YouTube channel, if I say I want to make progress on it, but I don't, how many hours does that mean per week? How many hours can I allocate towards it? So I like to track those hours, just to give me a rough idea of where my time is being allocated, number one, and how efficient I am with different things, just so I can kind of make tweaks and little 1 to 2% improvements here and there. And I think in the long run, that'll allow us to be super effective. Another reason that I do it too is kind of like observing myself and observing my behavior, observing how efficient I am, observing where I can improve. So basically how you can implement it in your life is either one of two ways. You can do manual tracking. So they have apps like, there's one that's called Toggl, Toggl. Basically in Toggl, you can create different projects and different tasks, and they even have like a premium subscription version. And with that version, with that premium version, you can, I think you can track more than 5 projects, but it's free up to 5 projects, but you can basically turn it on and off manually like a timer when you're working on a specific thing. Another thing that you can do is just open up a simple Google Sheet, make 30-minute blocks from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, and just fill in those blocks every 30 minutes with what you did for the last 30 minutes. I do a version of those two